My friends, this is a great time to become a channel member. Every week now I'm posting uncensored videos exclusively for my channel members, along with custom emojis and live streams for members at the Arch-Villain level where you get to talk to me directly. Please consider supporting this channel by clicking the link in the video description and joining us in our fight to save pop culture. And also, check out our Patreon and Subscribe-Star pages for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, including Harvey Cthulhu's insane podcasts, photos of my vast toy collection, and members at the Legionnaire level receive a signed photo, membership card, and certificate signed by me. You'll find the Patreon link in the video description as well. Thanks for watching, my friends, and now on to the video. Rachel Zegler simply cannot seem to stay out of the news. Just as you think, okay, I've seen Snow White, I've reviewed the damn thing twice, it's dying at the box office, Rachel Zegler's stock has fallen so low because of her big mouth and sterile performance, she was actually filmed cheering her own name on the screen as she watched Snow White in a completely empty theater, which has got to be something of a rock bottom for a wannabe movie star. Now that all of this has happened, she'll piss off to Broadway or Cirque du Soleil or something, and I won't have to see her or think about her ever again. Just as you think that, yet another scandal erupts around this entitled legend in her own mind, and once again Doomcock must make a video because something this big simply must be commented on. So yesterday, Variety published an article describing an incident involving some of Zegler's woke cult followers trying to blast Snow White producer Mark Platt for his attempts to get Rachel Zegler to stop shooting her big mouth off on social media and damaging the film's prospects. Zegler is under the delusion that the world adores her no matter what she does. She's a star, and people will line up to see her in movies no matter what she does or says because she's the bestest ever. As a result of this massive and unwarranted egotism, Zegler felt empowered to insult and curse half the country for its political positions, publicly kicked the Israel-Palestine hornet's nest, resulting in death threats and heightened security for Israeli co-star Gal Gadot, whom Zegler called a professional beauty pageant contestant. You know, little shit like that. Endearing herself to almost no one except a few purple hair nose ringers, one of whom confronted Jonah Platt, the son of Disney Snow White producer Mark Platt, on Instagram. Now, understandably, what follows was deleted from Instagram, but the entire incident was captured before it was deleted, and here's what happened. Some idiot Zeglerista posted this to Jonah Platt. Your dad flew to NYC to reprimand a young actress? Any words on this? 'Cause that's creepy as hell and uncalled for. People have the right to free speech, no? Shame on your father. This did not go over well with Jonah Platt, much to his credit, and in his reply he gave us a glimpse behind the magic curtain and revealed just what a pain in the ass Zegler was to the whole Snow White production. Quote, "You really want to do this? Yeah, my dad, the producer of an enormous piece of Disney IP with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, had to leave his family to fly across the country to reprimand his 20-year-old employee for dragging her personal politics into the middle of promoting the movie for which she signed a multi-million-dollar contract to get paid and do publicity for. This is called adult responsibility and accountability, and her actions clearly hurt the film's box office. Free speech does not mean you're allowed to say whatever you want in your private employment without repercussions. Tens of thousands of people worked on that film, and she hijacked the conversation for her own immature desires at the risk of all the colleagues and crew and blue-collar workers who depend on that movie to be successful. Narcissism is not something to be coddled or encouraged."
You know, Doomcock, adult responsibility and accountability are not strong suits of the woke. In fact, they don't truly understand those very concepts. That is probably the reason for the disconnect, the entitlement not merely of women who think they are movie stars, but an entire generation of people who believe that their politics trump everything, including respect, responsibility, and accountability.
Indeed, O Skull of Calderon, in this, Disney is to blame for selecting someone like this to be their lead. As you say, this generation is very, very self-entitled, self-aggrandizing, and self-possessed. They think that their political views trump every single other consideration, and that is why woke art generally stinks. Because they are more propagandists than creators. They're not telling stories, they are trying to re-engineer society, and that is no recipe for entertainment.
Man, oh man, it almost makes you feel sorry for Disney. Almost. Of course they knew, or should have known, what they were getting into with Zegler. I'm amazed Jonah Platt publicly said this shit.
Well, the thing of it is, Jonah Platt is the son of producer Mark Platt, not a part of the production staff, and so he wouldn't be signed to any Disney NDAs. He just knew about this crap because he personally witnessed it, and was outraged that people had the nerve to attack his father for essentially doing his job, reminding Zegler of her professional obligations not to sabotage the movie's publicity. Ha! Well,
Good luck with all that.
as Seinfeld would say. Look, it would be very hard not to make the case that Rachel Zegler's big mouth resulted in a hell of a lot of terrible publicity for Snow White. Alienating half the United States is not a recipe for financial success, but then again, to be fair, even if Zegler hadn't crapped all over the original movie, hadn't flipped off Israel, hadn't insulted her co-star, the movie still would have sucked. The only difference in my mind is Snow White almost surely would have had a bigger opening weekend without all the terrible publicity, but once the reviews hit and the word of mouth spread, there's no way in hell this film would have been a success. There's just no way. This is the lowest rated Disney movie ever on IMDb for a reason, and that reason is because it stinks. It is a dog. It is one of the worst damn things I've ever seen, personally. Its fate was the result of a perfect shitstorm of screw-ups. There's just no way around that. So trying to cast Rachel Zegler as the quintessential devil in these matters is simply inaccurate. I personally can't stand the sight of the woman anymore, but I must acknowledge there is plenty of blame to go around for the failure of Snow White. This movie was doomed the minute they put it in the hands of people who had contempt for the original classic film. Cutting almost all of the classic songs and changing it from a story about true love to a story about a girl becoming a political leader could never lead Disney to any happily ever after. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Ha 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 ha.